The National Institutes of Health (NIH) reports 57.8 million adults live with some form of mental illness. To diagnose a patient, the U.S. industry uses the DSM-5-TR.
The biopsychosocial model helps professionals understand the cause of mental illness by looking at 3 factors.
The NIH reports most prevalent mental illnesses for adults are various: anxiety disorders, panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety disorder, phobia, followed by major depression. Neglect, childhood trauma, traumatic brain injury, genetics, environmental, substance abuse, poverty, long-term stress, social isolation, bereavement, poor health, and more.
Align Psyche, holistic psychotherapy, is a therapeutic treatment of mental illness provided by a trained mental health professional. It explores thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and seeks to improve an individual's well-being. Examples include cognitive behavioral therapy, exposure therapy, dialectical behavior therapy, etc.
Hi, my name's Sabrina Cordovana, and I'll be a presenter on September 29th at the Mental and Health Seminar. I'll be also presenting with Dr. D.R.Lee, so I'm so excited to be part of this and bring you some wonderful information about LifeWave. LifeWave was developed by our CEO, David Schmidt, over 20 years ago. It is patented technology that has over 99 clinical trials that have been done. It is wonderful technology that helps our bodies heal from within. I'm going to share with you my own health story and also some wonderful photographs of other people's healing journeys. Can't wait to see you all. Doors open at 10:30 a.m. I also just wanted to really quickly thank Dr. D.R.Lee and Pastor Foote for having me speak about this product. I think everybody's going to have a wonderful time, and I can't wait to see you. Thank you.
Trauma is not what happened to you. Trauma is what happened inside you as a result of what happened to you. So trauma is the psychic wound that you sustained. That's the first point. The second point is, if we understand the nature of a wound, really there's 2 ways to look at a wound. If it stays open, it's very sore. You touch it. If I pat myself on the shoulder right now, I feel no pain. But if there was a wound there and my shoulder was bare and my nerve endings were close to the surface, in other words, if I was thin-skinned, and if I tapped myself with the same force, there'd be severe pain. So one aspect of trauma is like an open sore that if you touch it, you just react like you were just wounded all over again. That's one aspect of a wound. The other way to look at a wound is that it forms a scar. A scar tissue protects the wound, but at the same time it's thick, it's inflexible, it's hard, it's not capable of growth, and it lacks nerve endings, so you don't feel. So trauma both sensitizes us to certain stimuli, and on the other hand, numbs us to our own feelings and separates us from our bodies because it's too painful to be in our bodies.
What does the body keep score mean? So, the impact of trauma is on the survival part of the brain, which means that even after the event is over, people stay on high alert. They chronically feel unsafe, especially in new environments. Being in a constant state of threat impacts our stress hormones and our immune system. The body remembers, even if you don't. People with trauma have issues with neuroception, meaning they perceive things differently, and they have issues processing what's going on around them. These issues leave them feeling unfocused and exhausted. It's difficult to pay attention, and it's exhausting to always feel like someone's going to hurt or betray you. Trauma survivors are more vulnerable to autoimmune disorders, chronic pain, insomnia, addiction, depression, and obesity. Each of these issues is even harder to deal with because when the body carries trauma, we have a much lower capacity for self-regulation and self-care, which is why people with trauma always feel so stuck and end up repeating the same cycles and patterns over and over again.
What is the best way to heal from emotional pain and trauma?
Feel it. Feel it. You got to feel it to heal it. For some reason, I can only speak from a Westerner's perspective. We get taught like crying is like bad. Like if you look at your natural biological response to trauma, you cry. It's just like a Coke bottle, right? When I shake a Coke bottle and take the lid off, there's a buildup of pressure, there's a buildup of energy that has to be released. So when you cry over trauma, when you sit with it, you're essentially releasing this energy that has no business being in you.
How has Jesus helped your mental health?
He understands things no one else can understand. So he's definitely helped my mental health, especially through worship music.
God's the only source of stability. You could like try and anchor yourself in like society or whatever, but that's never going to be stable.
I definitely agree. Jesus like definitely helped my mental health, but also supporting others around me. Like I couldn't do that in my own strength.
Really and truly, if it weren't for Jesus, I probably wouldn't be standing here today. Like I can cry to God like I cried to no one else. I can rant to God like I've ranted to no one else, and I can just like He'll always be there. And it's like to actually deep God's love for you is actually like quite.
Did you know you can heal your body with the power of your mind? This is the incredible true story of Mr. Wright. In 1957, Mr. Wright was suffering from an advanced cancer called lymphosarcoma. His body was covered in tumors, and doctors gave him only days to live. He heard about a new experimental drug, Cree-Biozen, and believed it was his last hope. Miraculously, after receiving the injection, his tumors shrank within days. He later read in the paper that the drug was a fraud and completely ineffective, and his cancer immediately returned. His doctor suspected his belief was what healed him, not the drug. So he gave him injections of sterile water and lied to him, saying it was actually a more potent version of the drug, and his tumors shrank again. The drug was never doing anything. It was his belief and the mind's ability to influence every cell in the body. The point of the story is, what you tell yourself matters. If you say, I am healed, you will become that, even if current reality suggests otherwise.
Rather wait